All right, welcome to the Let It Fly show. I am Michael Severe, joined by former Creighton and Omaha Central three-time state champion Josh Jones joining us here. How you doing?
I'm good, man. How about you?
I'm good. You know, it's the weather. You get up in the morning, a little cold. By the time you get in your car in the afternoon, it's hot.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to adjust.
Look at me. I woke up this morning. I'm like old school. I can look at what it's going to be, but I still got to step outside.
Exactly.
And I was cold.
I know. You got to layer, right? You got to layer. You got to do that. We are, of course, inside the Let It Fly Sports Bar in the beautiful Capital District in downtown Omaha. It's the place to come if you're going to be watching a sporting event. You want to hang out.
It's cool out here right now.
Oh, it is. It's really nice. And, you know, there's always events going on in Steelhouse and CHI and Holland.
Yep.
People come here. So if you ever think about coming here to get a meal, you want to make sure that you make a reservation to get a table, especially this Sunday.
Right. This
Sunday, we're taping on a Thursday, is Mother's Day. You know that.
Yes, sir. I
took care of business.
I know.
They're doing a special brunch.
Okay.
They got a Mother's Day brunch. You should check that out. It is pretty cool. And one of the things about the Mother's Day brunch is they've got different items, so things they normally have. For example, on the Mother's Day brunch, you have the Let It Fly Eggs Benedict.
Man, I love eggs.
You have fried chicken with Cholula bread French toast. Challah, that's challah. Challah French toast. I've never seen that before. That's kind of cool. You know, that's that bread that's twisted, the Jewish bread.
I know what it is, but
I've never seen it done for French toast before.
Yeah.
Some Nashville chicken breakfast burrito.
Okay.
Huevos rancheros. Skillet egg scramble. Some house smoked salmon. So
let me tell you the type of person I am. I would read that and be like, man, this look good. All right, so let me tell you what I want. I want to create my own breakfast.
Well, my own breakfast.
I love breakfast so much.
Yeah, I love breakfast.
But I go to the same things every time.
It's so good, man. So good.
You like your egg scrambled soft or what?
I'm a poached guy.
Okay.
I love poached eggs.
All right.
If you give me a nice poached egg, some toast, a little bit of butter on the toast, put it on top of the egg, that's all I really need. I'm good with that.
I'm with you.
They do have complimentary mimosas and Bloody Marys as well for the moms.
Yeah.
And chocolate dipped strawberries for all the moms as well.
Yep.
So come on out. It is May 12th, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. is the special Mother's Day breakfast here at the wonderful Let It Fly Sports Bar. I also want to tell you about our presenting sponsor, Bud Light.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate those guys taking care of us. You should take care of them, whether you're in your basement, you're at Let It Fly Sports Bar, you're in a garage, wherever you are, and you're getting your drink on. Make sure it is Bud Light. It makes easy drinking and easy buckets throughout the state of Nebraska.
Yep.
Easy to drink and easy to enjoy. Our dish today
looks so good. I'm not sure if I can eat it, though.
Brand new. I think you're okay. Brand new menu, okay? So this is the basil pesto spaghetti with wood-fired chicken. Basil pesto on top of your noodles, oven-roasted tomatoes, zucchini, summer squash, and a balsamic reduction. I'm just going to take a little of the chicken.
No, you got it, man.
I'm going to take a little of the chicken.
Yeah. For those who don't know, I got a mechanical heart valve, vitamin K. It's something I can't.
You got to avoid that.
Yeah.
You can't.
So leafy foods. Or not just leafy, but
what about bananas? A bunch of potassium in that.
True, but I just think it's just something about broccoli, kale, spinach.
Right.
I don't know. It just makes my blood thicker.
Oh, okay.
And I'm nervous about
I understand. Avoid that, man.
You know, aneurysm or a stroke or something.
You don't want to float a clot. Last thing you want to do is float a clot.
But it looks great, though.
It does. It looks delicious.
Yes, sir.
Our guest this week is Joey Hauser. You may remember that name. He's with Marquette.
The Hauser name.
With his brother, Sam.
Yeah.
And then he transferred to Michigan State. His brother transferred to Virginia. They both had good careers. And now his brother is actually on the Boston Celtics.
Yep.
And Joey is in the G League. And so we're going to talk to him coming up. Before we do that, we've always got our headlines. And our first headline is the most important headline.
What's that?
That we've had since we started the show.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, what's that?
Simple question.
I'm listening.
Okay, you ready?
Yes, sir. Hopefully it's not math.
Who won? Who won? Drake?
Oh, Kendrick.
Or Kendrick.
Kendrick, say less.
It's pretty easy, huh?
No, that's funny. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to lie.
So
it's probably the greatest rap beef of all time.
Oh, man. No, see, when you guys say that, nobody's dead. Okay?
Of all time.
Greatest of all time. People died.
I'm talking about no Vaseline.
Biggie, that was incredible. But you're talking about what the East and West Coast had over that course of 2 years.
I'm talking about
men died.
No, I feel that.
Yeah.
People can die in this one.
But nobody's died in this one.
No,
they
not
make
yet.
Too much money.
Well, I guess you consider greatest of how far it went. I feel you on that point.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, as far as like for the culture of what it did, they dropped 5 diss tracks apiece.
Especially because you can do it so fast now.
My favorite,
you couldn't turn around.
My favorite diss of all time is "Hit 'Em Up." Tupac.
That's outstanding. But you mentioned this. So all of NWA, which is the biggest.
No Vaseline.
That type
My father-in-law, he can't let that go.
You have Ice Cube leaving.
He can't let that go.
And they went after Ice Cube
My
first.
father-in-law.
And then he rolled back with No Vaseline. That was a 6-month stretch.
Yeah.
Where we were all like, oh my God.
I know. He talk about it too.
It was going way back. This is a little before you guys. So LL had a bunch of battles, right?
Yeah.
But his initial battle
was with who?
Was Kumo D.
I know. He talked about that too.
They went back and forth, and they were mean to each other.
For sure.
And that's back when rap was fun.
Yeah,
we hadn't even got to gangster rap yet. Nobody was killing anybody yet.
No, yeah. I guess.
Fun. That was fun.
I feel you. The most iconic rap beef of all time is obviously Biggie and Pac.
Yeah. East versus West.
I think that the most profound, legendary diss track is No Vaseline, but I think that my favorites Hit 'Em Up. But I say this is like the greatest of all time because it's two Titans in their primes, 5 diss tracks apiece. What? Yeah. Crazy. I'm not even talking about from the point of like, I mean, also lyrically, I think it's cool. But like, I mean, I'm a real hip hop fan, you know? I'm Mr. Beats and Sheets, you know? So you can't, you know, so it ain't like I'm not credible at what I'm saying.
I'm a hip hop fan, but it's a long time ago.
But biasly, like, I feel like it's the greatest of all time. Yeah. But if you want to speak objectively and not subjectively, I would say Hit 'Em Up or No Vaseline. No, that's just me.
Just how big NWA was.
Yeah.
And you knew the breakup was happening. And the fact that they went at him right away.
I know.
And he's just sitting there going, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I didn't do nothing to you guys. And then came back and ended it.
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing to have 5 times going back and forth. They did something. Ice Cube did something, and it was over. No one had a debate. They were like, okay, well.
Yeah, no, exactly.
That's pretty much it.
No, I know about it. I know about it.
When to go farther
I got one more question.
Yeah.
Rakim or Jay-Z?
Oh, Rakim is the greatest lyricist of all time.
And that's another thing.
Period.
So, me and my father-in-law.
Jay-Z's a better artist.
I think Jay-Z a better artist, but I also think he's a better lyricist too. I think Rakim number 2.
Wow.
See what I'm saying?
Like, okay, so Rakim said one of the greatest lines.
What's that?
In the history of rap music.
You sound like it's like I'm talking to my father.
And it's simple. And it's simple. Okay.
What's that?
I take a phrase that's rarely heard.
Right.
I flip it, and now it's the daily word.
I know.
Which was true because everything he put out, everybody sampled.
I know.
For about 3 years.
For sure.
Everything that came out had the exact same bass line as thinking of a master plan.
Right.
So, pure lyricist.
Yeah.
But as a performer, and then Jay-Z's a businessman. Oh my God, he's a businessman.
But I'm not against that though. I mean, I'm with.
You know who my favorite of all time is?
I guarantee it's. I can't even guarantee.
So I'm going to go 1A, 1B. Rakim is my favorite of all time. But right there.
KRS-One?
Scarface. I was living in Houston.
Yeah.
When Scarface and Ghetto Boys and all those guys came out.
Yeah.
Scarface to this day. I don't know if you guys, you know, Tiny Desk, what's it called?
The Tiny Desk performances.
Yeah. He did one on there.
Yeah.
I think it's the best one I ever saw.
No doubt.
It's incredible. He still got it.
Juveniles was hard too.
He still got it, man.
You seen Juveniles? Yeah,
Scarface still got it, man. But anyway,
I know.
that was my guy.
I'm with you too. I think I gave you my bias and my objective.
Yeah.
I'm with you too.
I love him some Rakim.
So yeah,
man,
sure.
Damn
anyway, though.
Okay, and then number 2 on the headlines: transfer visitor coming up for Nebraska. This is kind of interesting.
Word.
Because we all saw this guy play a couple of years. Jaden Mangum went to Michigan State, so Nebraska played against him for a couple of years, and now he's leaving, and he is going to visit next week. He had 53 tackles, 4 interceptions this past season. He's a safety, but he's played corner as well. This is important because if you watch the Nebraska spring game, they lost one of their corners. We're not sure when he'll be back.
Right.
Now, Bly Hill may be back at some point, but he is banged up, so they need somebody else. If they can get this kid. He's looking at Ohio State, Michigan, and Nebraska. 6'2", 185 pounds, and so he's got 2 years left because he's got playing safety and corner. Yeah, he's a big kid, so we'll see when it's happening.
Right.
Quentin Newsom's gone, obviously.
Yep.
I mentioned Bly Hill being hurt, so that means you may have to take one of your safeties and bring them down a corner, or play one of the young guys a corner.
If
this kid comes, you never know. And then the third one is something we were talking about off air last week before we got started, and we're talking about the future face of the NBA, right? Because obviously Jordan was the face of the NBA, and then Kobe had a minute, and then LeBron obviously. Before that, Magic and Bird.
Do you think it was? I remember there was a time where you was kind of like, oh, it could be KD too, but then it was LeBron. So
KD had 2 years.
Right, 2 years.
Golden State years.
But my thing is, my question was, where do you classify Steph in that? Was he ever the face, or was LeBron always the face? Steph just revolutionized. Like, how do you categorize?
I don't think Steph was ever the face, but he certainly was the theme.
For sure.
He was the theme of basketball.
Yeah, I respect
was
that.
what he did. I think if he... Obviously, Durant comes over there and they win the championships. If that whole 3-4 years was all Steph and Durant never joined him, then maybe he becomes that.
Face.
But like looking forward, obviously LeBron's 39, something like that, right?
Yeah, but
some of the other bigger name guys are foreigners, right?
Right.
Jokic and
Wemby is young.
Yeah, he's young, but he's French,
right?
And then Doncic's
Luka.
Yeah, he's Slovenian.
Luka in Slovenia.
Yeah, Slovenian.
Yeah.
So. But talking about just guys, here's the list I made up, okay?
So, and listen for to successors, age. Like this new era.
These are the guys who, when you look ahead, this will be your Olympic star, this will be your world champion, this will be your whatever. So you got Anthony Edwards, I put him at 1. He's just 22 years old.
Right.
And I don't know what's going to happen tonight, but so far, the way they've been playing against Denver, it could be a sweep. I don't know if it will be, but it could be.
I couldn't believe somebody came up to me and said the Timberwolves going to win it all. I was like, dang, that might seem real.
Well, we were talking about it beforehand, and we were talking about OKC.
Yeah.
And I said, if it comes down to OKC and Minnesota, I don't think OKC is the size.
No.
They certainly don't have the beef.
No.
Because all that beef with Minnesota, if they come down to being...
And they don't got the dog.
They don't. And I look, Oklahoma City, give them all the props. Number 1 seed. SGA's played
like
great.
Anthony Edwards say, hell no.
But I don't know, man. I don't know. So then I got a little bit older, 26-year-old is Jason Tatum, playing on the team with the best record in the league this year in a big market.
You got him at 2.
I put him at 2 because he's in Boston, which is one of the 5 top biggest markets, right?
Respect.
He is on a team that is also one of the most second winningest team in the history of the NBA, behind the Lakers. And they had the best record by far in the league this year, especially in the Eastern Conference. So I put him there. 26, though. Ja Morant, because you guys mentioned him last week, I put him there. I say he is too deep in the woods with the bad stuff
right now
to be the guy that eventually, maybe in a couple years, a rehab tour.
For sure.
Rehab tour, and then all of a sudden you look up and you go, now he's 26.
Like rebranding himself.
Everything's behind him. He's not pulling out guns. He's not doing stupid stuff.
Right.
Number 4, maybe a little surprised, but Tyrese Halliburton. Because I love complete players. I want to see a guy who's got the whole box score. I want to see a guy who can score. I want to see a guy who can shoot from 2. I want to see a rebound or assist.
Yeah.
He is a box score stuffing individual. They got him on there. Not playing a big market, though. So that doesn't – great. But he's only 23. Tyrese Maxey, I'm a Sixer fan, but, again, big market. He's just 23.
Right.
We saw what he did in the playoffs.
Yep.
Carrying them for a few games.
I'm a illustrator, so I'm envisioning what you're saying.
And then one more guy in terms of American-born, who is also young, 21 years old, Paolo Banchero.
Yep. Okay.
As this season went along,
so we only talking Americans.
I have a list of non-Americans, but this is because I think in order to be, look at all the guys we named. We named Magic, Bird, right?
Yep.
We named Jordan.
Yep.
We named
Kobe, LeBron.
You named Steph.
Yep.
That's all Americans.
For sure.
And yes, Jokic is the 3-time MVP, but I don't think he's on the front of your cereal box.
I think the closest thing we ever got to a foreigner being in the face is Giannis.
That one, and before that, Dirk. And Dirk had those 2010, 2011.
And Dirk.
He was, won the championship, and beat
Dirk.
Jordan, beat LeBron.
Dirk. That was the villain
Dirk.
LeBron era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that, I say right in that little window.
Yeah, you're right.
But for a longer period of time, Giannis the last 4 years.
For sure.
No doubt.
Yeah.
On to cover everything.
Right.
So it makes sense. Here are your non-Americans. Luka, SGA, who's from Canada, and Victor Wembanyama, who might be, he could probably be the face.
Yeah.
If he continues what he's doing now, defensively.
I agree, bro.
Did you watch he scored 17 points.
Yeah.
In like a matter of about 4 or 5 minutes.
I know.
I went back and rewound. I was like, my God.
I know.
And the last shot was a step-in 3.
I was about to say, and it wasn't all in the paint.
No. It was like, okay, well, maybe he could be the face.
For sure.
But out of all those guys, is it definitely Anthony Edwards to you?
But wait, Embiid. I mean, he's an American too, though.
He's from.
But he's gonna play for USA.
He's dual citizenship.
He's dual citizenship.
Sure. So I don't think he can ever be the face because he's so hated.
I respect that.
He's really disliked, man.
I mean, LeBron,
he flops.
2012 was a villain, and he was
2011, 2012, yeah.
Like post Dirk,
right?
LeBron, like I ain't gonna
when he left Miami
for sure
and went back to Cleveland, and he kind of became like a little bit of a hero again.
Yeah, a little bit
because he's going home.
So I like your list. The reason why right now, and it's not all about right now because like
you're not a prisoner of the moment.
No, I'm not. Right. The reason why I can roll with just head and shoulders Anthony Edwards is because how he's 22 years old. I think about Kobe. His personality owns the spotlight. He's so relatable to so many kids. And he make basketball look cool. You know, that alone, his swagger and the way he like goes about himself is why I feel like he'll be the face. And it's his personality.
Exactly. That's what I was saying last week.
I think he's got the personality. Ja Morant, even though like, I mean, the NBA went as far as not even mentioning the guy. I don't even hear about him no more unless I hear teammates talking about him. But in a way, like, who's going to support him and build him up? But I think that sometimes you just undeniable. And I think once this dude get back on the court, bro, we just...
got to stay healthy, obviously.
It's like Jordan right when he came back.
He's got to stay healthy, obviously. I just think he's already lost over half the population of basketball.
Over half,
he's already lost half. Now 100%. He's got to earn them back.
And the thing is, I think in Memphis got a stigma, and I'm kind of going
small town too. Memphis.
I'm like kind of drifting. I'm gonna go back to what your list. But I think that Memphis right now are the villains. You know, they're villains of the NBA. But I think with his success story and his redemption tour, I think that he's going to be beloved, and I just kind of feel like his personality, his swag.
That's a bold statement to say he's going to be beloved.
I'm telling you, bro.
That's a bold statement.
Ja Morant got fools doing the gritty. I didn't even know about the gritty till I seen Ja do it. You know,
you did.
I didn't.
Really?
I promise you.
So it's an NBA move.
No,
LSU created it.
No, it's not about who created it.
I'm just saying that's who was doing it first.
Somebody else did a lot of things first, but who made it? You feel me?
LSU, George Jefferson.
That's cool.
Those guys.
That's cool. But I seen Ja Morant.
Okay.
And so what I'm trying to say is I believe Anthony Edwards is head and shoulders, and the only person that can come back and take that 1B is still Ja Morant.
Okay.
I think so.
We'll see. Look, he plays fun.
Yeah.
He's fun to watch. He's fun to watch.
Because his game is undeniable.
But part of this fun to watchiness puts him in a bad situation health-wise. He hits the ground more. He just gives his body up.
He reminds me of Derrick Rose, Russell Westbrook 2.0.
And remember, Russell stayed healthy.
He did.
Obviously, Rose did not stay healthy.
True.
And so you got to be in between.
So I think
he's thinner than both those guys.
But your list overall are today's superstars.
Right.
We got to throw in Dame Lillard though too.
Say he's 37.
We got to throw him in.
He's 36, 37 years old. He may get cut by Milwaukee.
Yeah.
As because of the money.
That could be true.
I think he gets like $61 million next year.
Yeah. I mean, but remember, so right now, you got. So these guys, you got this category of superstars that are still there before, like a few of these guys have stepped up to that tier one, but you got Kyrie still hooping.
Not in the playoffs. Go ahead.
Don't matter.
I think it matters to play in the playoffs.
No, Kyrie is Kyrie.
No, I think
Kyrie
he is in the playoffs. I was with Dallas.
Yeah.
I can see that, but also another guy who half the population is nowhere going to side with.
Who's that?
Kyrie.
Yeah. So
people aren't going to side with him. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel you on him.
I mean, he said some stuff.
I feel you on him more than the other. He's not even wrong about what he said to me.
Well, he's wrong about a lot of stuff he said.
But he's right about a lot too, though.
Like being the earth being flat?
That's stupid.
Okay. Yeah. About the stuff he said about the you believe that about the vaccines? What stuff he said about the vaccines? You believe that?
That's kind of stupid too.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm with you on the things you with. But I'm just saying, like, I'm naming superstars right now.
Sure. Yeah.
So, like, you still got Kyrie, you still got Dame, you still got Giannis and all those guys. But they're the predecessors. But the successors, you named all the superstars.
These are the future guys.
I just think that the two guys is Ja Morant and Anthony Edwards.
Okay.
But Anthony Edwards, head and shoulders if Ja's not healthy.
Yeah, the other guy, though, could be SGA. I know he's from Canada.
Oh, and
but SGA could be that other guy.
Yeah.
Because his skill.
No, he is a guy.
If he plays the whole season the way he played the first half,
I agree. I agree with you. So those three, but I think it goes AE, SGA, and then Ja. I think Ja gonna make.
Okay, I mean we'll see.
I can't wait.
It would be, you know what it would be? It'd be one hell of a comeback.
I know.
It'd be one hell of a comeback.
I think he can do it.
If he can come
hey,
where
like
he was,
Soulja Boy, the greatest comeback of all time. Soulja Boy. Hey,
the best joke is Kim Kardashian got the greatest comeback of all time.
You
got to think deep about that one. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Joey Hauser will join us. We're going to chat some NBA, some G League, and more here on Let It Fly Show.
On a Sunday. Gotta go. I forgot the sausage. You guys ready to eat? There you go. On a Sunday.
Welcome back to Let It Fly Show. Our guest this week, former college basketball star at Marquette at Michigan State, and now playing with the San Diego Clippers in the G League. Joey Hauser joining us. How you feeling?
Doing good. Appreciate you guys having me.
We appreciate you taking the time. First of all, how often you been to Omaha? Besides, I'm assuming one time or with Marquette to play Creighton, but how many times you been here?
It's my second time. Yeah, it was one time when I was with Marquette just to play a game. So, yeah, it's my second time here.
Cool.
For sure. I mean, for your second time here, you done anything special, or you just in and out?
Just in and out. Nothing much. It's kind of, just enjoying the
just
town.
round the way.
Yeah, figuring it all out. Eating some good food and whatnot. So
you of course went from the Big East to the Big Ten, and you were the last year of the old-fashioned transfer where you got to sit out.
Yep.
How hard was that decision to leave, knowing that you're going to sit out a year?
I mean, at the time, like that was what you had to do. That was the expectation that you were going to have to sit out. So for me, I was coming off an injury in high school, and I played 1 year at Marquette. So I kind of thought, like, all right, it could be another year to kind of develop my body, get 100% healthy after a long freshman year. But we knew we were gonna have to sit out. Me and my brother going into it. So it just kind of was part of the decision.
Yeah, take us back to the beginning. Let's talk about your family. You about 6'8"? I think you're legit 6'8". Yeah, I see you stand up.
Yeah.
What? How was life growing up? You and your brother, your family with sports. Tell us about that.
And your sister too, right? She ball.
Yeah. Everything was sports. Oldest sister, I'm the youngest, and then Sam is the middle. I mean, everything was sports. My dad was a coach. Mom was a coach. Mom was the athletic director at the high school.
Wow.
Now my dad's the athletic director. So,
yeah.
But yeah, everything was evolved around sports. I mean, we were played all three sports you had to. In our household, you weren't allowed to play just one or specialize. So
good.
We always just were with different teams, different coaches, and playing sports.
Who was more tough on you, mom or dad?
Probably even.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
okay.
It's probably even.
Yeah, okay.
I always like when the dad's the coach. He yells at the son. Then they come home, and they're at the dinner table, and the mom's like, you can't be treating him like that, man.
Nah, his mom.
his mom was involved right there, too.
You didn't finish.
Were they both athletes, too?
Yeah. My dad played Division II basketball Minnesota Duluth.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
My mom was a three-sport athlete at University of Wisconsin Superior.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, and you went to Stevens Point?
Yeah.
Talk about that area in terms of the talent, because you hear basketball players obviously coming out of Wisconsin. What was it like when you were coming up, talent-wise? Because your team won, same as you, 3-time state champions in a row. Mm-hmm. What was that team like? What kind of talent did you have on it? What was the talent around you?
Just a lot of guys that played basketball the right way. Obviously, we had my brother and then another good player, Trevor Anderson. He played at Wisconsin.
At Wisconsin? I know about him.
Yeah.
He was good, too. He was a really good high school player. And we just had a bunch of other guys that just were good hoopers.
Right out of high school, why did you go where you went?
Yeah.
Especially having an older brother, seeing this process before you. Like, how did you end up in your journey where you were?
I mean, it's tough to pass down the opportunity to play with your brother in college, so that definitely went into the decision. Coach Bojo, who was a coach at Marquette at the time, had he was newer, he was younger, so he had a good program going, and we just were excited. I was excited to play with my brother, and I definitely don't regret going to Marquette.
For sure.
Yeah. Joey Hauser joining us, playing now at San Diego Clippers. They're in the G League. Well, how much of the decision was because of Sam? How much of it was it to stay close? Sometimes you wanted to stay close to home,
I guess that's what I was asking, too.
Yeah.
No, definitely both go into it.
Okay.
When you're that young, like being close to home, I was only probably 2 hours away.
Right.
Definitely impacts it. There's going to be a lot of people at games. It's an easy drive.
It's the state school for basketball too, right? I mean, even though Wisconsin's got talent, but Marquette, 1977 world champions, they've always known to be a good basketball program.
Yeah, and it's a basketball school.
Yeah.
That's kind of like Creighton, obviously.
Sure.
That's all there is. They just love their Marquette basketball.
You still tapped in with both schools on the alumni and all that type of stuff?
Not really at Marquette anymore, just because they got a new coach, new staff. So I don't really have much connections back there. Like maybe strength coach and athletic trainer that I still know, but Michigan State for sure.
Is home.
Like, yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah, they with their alumni, like they're super involved. They always want you coming back and spending time.
Yeah, give us some Michigan State stories from your experience there. Talking about greatest game, scariest moments, coach, all of that type of stuff.
Well, greatest game a year ago in the NCAA tournament. We were a 7 seed and Marquette was a 2 seed. So we both won our first round games and played each other. And
nice.
We beat them. So that was like
for you.
Yeah, that was like reaching the pinnacle for like what I envisioned.
Did y'all have that conversation in the locker room about like so you get a pregame speech and all that and then
do it for
coach
me.
Say, all right, hit you with that.
A little bit. Like we tried to kind of downplay it. Like you know, obviously I didn't know anyone at Marquette. Like
for sure, but still,
the staff turnover, but. I mean, I've never been booed so loud getting my name announced.
Man.
Really?
Yeah.
That's sweet, man.
When you left, what was it like talking to the coach? What was it like having to tell them that you were moving on?
Yeah, I mean, we just told them, like, we appreciate everything. We decided that this is what we're going to do. And obviously, it's usually, you know, you like to say no hard feelings, but there always is a little bit. Yeah.
It was probably more of the fandom. I mean, fans always paint their own narrative.
Yeah.
That's where the booze came from.
Yeah.
So I can feel that,
So was there, I know, okay, you went to Michigan State, your brother goes to Virginia. Was there a school that you both kind of liked that maybe had a chance to get both of you guys, or that didn't happen?
I mean, we talked, like, we both kind of envisioned ourselves, like, could we go to Michigan State? Because we knew, like, I knew he wanted to go to Virginia. He knew I wanted to go to Michigan State.
Oh, okay.
We didn't try too hard to, like, convince each other, like, hey, like, you should come with me. But we kind of had those talks, like, could we both fit in at this school? And at the end of the day, it just was like, you know, we can't force each other to go to a school.
For sure.
Yeah.
So the pro aspect of basketball, how hard is it from your experience to be a pro?
It's a lot different. You know, my experience in college was like we're always having film sessions, we're always having practices, like, you know, we're doing so much to have us kind of like scheduled out throughout the day. But once you're a pro, like you come in, you do 10 minutes of film, and you get like 30-minute, 45-minute practice or walkthrough, and you're out. Like the rest of the day, you don't really know what to do with yourself. So that was like the biggest adjustment.
So it's not very structured.
Yeah, like there's, you know, you're not going to classes.
It's more expectation.
Yeah, like you got a lot of free time to kind of, you know, sit there and think, and you know, what are you gonna do? You got to pick stuff up and stay busy. Yeah.
Besides film, lifting, and practice, how'd you fill the time?
I mean,
video game guy, like to go shopping.
Not many video games. You know, I was out in California, luckily. So
no doubt.
Go to the beach.
Yeah. It was nice out a lot. So yeah.
How was it for you to actually get on a roster, but have that roller coaster effect of getting cut? Yeah. Get on a roster, roller coaster effect, and then land where you're at now.
It was tough for me. I mean, my first experience was I got signed a 2-way to Utah Jazz.
Yep.
Kind of was dealing with a foot injury. And as soon as we got back from training camp, like they said, hey, we're waiving you, so we're gonna cut you. And that was tough. Like I had to go back home for a week,
for sure,
figure out what my next step was gonna be, and then obviously the Clippers reached out, and that's what I ended up playing the G League season for.
No doubt. Yeah. So how you feel about just the whole G League thing? Obviously, everybody got goals to make it back up to the league.
Yeah.
But like, what's your mindset with this season versus, hey, there could be opportunities abroad versus how hard it is to get back into the NBA?
Yeah, those are like the pros and cons you got to weigh. Do you go overseas? Do you try to stick it out and work it into an NBA contract? I mean, that's why we got agents that help, you know, figure that out for you, so you don't have to worry about it. But yeah, that's definitely the goal, is to get there. But if you look at the G League this past year, I want to say every single pick besides Wembanyama played in the G League.
Very true.
Yeah.
From the first round? Or both rounds?
Yeah, both
rounds.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I ask these questions
That's
just for people who don't really
nuts.
understand the process. You know, I mean, personally myself, I played college basketball at Creighton. I had health issues, didn't get an opportunity to go play after. But like, sometimes people will see somebody on the show and they're like, man, you should have asked, you know?
Yeah.
And so I'm just trying to ask,
that's crazy.
You know, just your perspective or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, like the G League commissioner, he always likes to say that, like, talent is in the G League. Like,
it is.
Really, that's.
I mean, you got Mac McClung winning the dunk contest.
Yeah.
And that's just athleticism.
Yeah.
Like, we ain't talking about games.
Yeah, back to back. Joey Hauser joining us here on the Let It Fly show. I was trying to look this up. So you won the 3 consecutive state titles. Yeah. The third one was your junior year, right?
Yeah.
And you got hurt your senior year?
Yeah, I got hurt my senior year. I had foot surgery, and then I had to get ankle surgery.
And that's when the foot problems started.
What was that?
That's when your foot problems and stuff started. Yeah, for sure.
Do you think if you would have stayed healthy, you guys could have won 4 in a row?
Like to think so.
Man.
Right? You'd have been favored, do you think?
Oh, yeah.
Because your brother was already gone.
He was already gone.
Right.
Yeah, my junior year, he wasn't on my team.
Right,
yeah,
right.
He already graduated. Yeah.
Man.
Could have won 4 in a row.
When I was in high school, my freshman year was the only year we didn't win. And I always go back to the moment where my coach played me in the semis. I didn't start in my freshman year, but I played as a 6 man a lot, you know, maybe average like 9 or 10 points. He didn't play me in the game, in the semifinals.
Yeah.
So I impacted the first round. Second round, he just didn't play me at all. And I go back to that moment and say, man, I could have won state 4 times.
Yeah.
You know?
That's something you never see, never happens. Well, you mentioned playing multiple sports. Did you have something that you would like more than basketball at any point in your childhood?
I love football. Friday Night Lights.
Really?
Nothing that compares to
Did you use tight end?
What was that?
Tight end?
Tight end, and then I kind of like split out to wide receiver.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Love football. I hated the 2-a-day practice, though.
Yeah.
So,
I always loved listening to Charles Barkley. He's like, I do it 1 day of practice.
Yeah, no doubt.
I got hot, I got hit, I was done.
How do you feel about like the way the NBA is going now? It seems like Anthony Edwards, you know, he's more like of a I don't want to say old school players.
He's like Michael Jordan, dude.
True, but like
same.
You got the early 2000s. Yeah. Kobe was a slasher. He was an athlete and stuff like that. Do you foresee in the G League? Does it? I guess my question is: does the G League kind of mimic the league with the type of style of play? Like, are there more players evolving to be more aggressive, like AE, or are they still taking threes like Curry and stuff like that? Like, what's the?
I mean, it's a copycat league, so
yeah.
Once the Warriors like kind of brought in that style of just analytics, threes, corner threes, whatever, like everyone's kind of followed suit. I would say the G League is like a little faster, probably.
Very fast. Yeah, it is.
Well, you got to think about it. You got all these guys like are fighting for like their opportunities.
It's like an elite JUCO.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah,
but everybody's fighting for a spot, so it's like it's really cutthroat.
For sure.
We went over this earlier in the show in our first segment, but who do you think is going to be the face of the NBA? Let's go with American-born players. Who do you think? I know you just mentioned Anthony Edwards, but who do you think has the best shot?
It's got to be him. I mean, he's a player I've never seen. I mean, I haven't seen anyone play like that since kind of like Kobe.
Yeah.
A younger D Wade maybe.
No doubt.
It's cool to see that he doesn't hoist up like 10, 12 threes a game.
Right.
But then
he dunks on everybody.
Yeah. I've been watching film
he dunks
for my
on
son.
everybody.
My son is 5, bro. Yeah. And I might sound crazy, but like I watch film for my son because I try to take away things from other people and train with him on it. Did you know or notice he gathers from the dotted? He doesn't gather from inside the paint. So that's why he dunks on everybody because he takes off
far out where he leaves from. Yeah. That's why he's like Jordan.
Man.
That's why he's like Jordan.
It's crazy to watch.
Yeah. When you watch a guy like Jokic play, right, who doesn't necessarily look like a guy in great shape. But I always joke that he makes himself invisible. Like he disappears, he comes out the other side, and we're like, where the hell did he go? When you watch him play, can you kind of give us an evaluation of what you see watching a guy like Jokic play?
That's just like he's just born with it. That's all you can really say. Like how talented he is, how skilled he is at 7 foot passing, shooting, ball handling. Like he grabs a rebound, he's getting and going. So it's just like nothing you've ever seen before.
Yeah, I can't think of anybody like him. I mean, you have to go. There was some guys way back in the 80s who pushed it a little bit, but he's, because it's funny because you look at a guy like Magic. So Magic's listed at 6'9", but he was almost 6'10".
Man.
So was Bird, right? Mm-hmm. Those guys would grab it and go, but those are guard forwards, not the center, not the three-time MVP center.
Compare, and this might be weird, but I compare Jokic to what LeBron is right now. Like, I feel like he can pass like LeBron. He can shoot like he can do everything LeBron. He probably just as fast at this age. You know,
that's true.
That's the only comparison that I got to him. What do you think about the MVP race? I watched NBA on TV. I know the world's seen that or whatever. What do you think about how they vote for the MVP?
It's a little bit like tricky. Like I don't really understand it how because Jokic probably should have been his fourth. In a row.
Could be his fourth.
Not Embiid. I'm with you. Yeah, no disrespect.
But from that aspect, like I feel like they never want to have the same MVP. So it's like they try to mix it up. But SGA, he might have deserved it this year
for sure.
His second half of the season.
Yeah,
1 seed too. Like
but he had a great his first half.
So
amazing. You watch him in the second half of the season. Mm-hmm. His points dropped off like 8 to 10. He was shooting like literally 12, 13% left and 3. He just wasn't. He couldn't hold on to it. Jokic every night.
Yeah.
20, 16, and 8.
Yeah. I'm just
every night.
So
I think Jokic is probably the best player.
I think the best player in the NBA should be the NBA MVP. Good or bad team.
Yeah, and remember, it's just regular season.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of people that are looking at Jokic and going, well, he just had a bad game, and they lost 2 to Minnesota, so they're judging it that way. Judge on the – that's what about Embiid, too. Embiid was horrible in the playoffs with the second round. I grew up a Sixer fan, let me just say that. But during the regular season, his numbers were as good, and then they played twice against Denver, and he dominated Jokic when they played each other. That's what won him the MVP.
For sure, yeah.
That one game matchup.
I was about to say that I think God, it just slipped my mind. It was something I was going to say that was kind of.
Let me do it real quick. You like the Celtics to win it all? I mean, obviously, a little bias and stuff. Can they do it without a healthy Porzingis, though?
I want to say their record is like 23 and like 3 without him or something like that.
They lost like 15 games.
They said it before the game.
Yeah.
But,
I hate when I forget my thought.
I think they're better off with Jokic healthy, but
with Porzingis healthy.
Porzingis healthy, but they can still do it without him.
Yeah, it's a big. Yeah. The guy stands out in the corner and makes threes, but also great outlet passer. He was a unicorn for a reason. Exactly. So many things he does.
My favorite storyline is the Knicks, and it's not just because of the history. I witnessed those 3 guards, Brunson and Devin. I watched them at the CHI
and Hart,
at Villanova, and for them to play together is almost like I wish Brooklyn can trade for their boy.
Bridges.
For Bridges,
it's amazing to me, and what it is. And the way basketball is today, I feel like it's very favorable to people like you because I think it's all about. With a guy like Anthony Edwards, he's going to need a specialist. So as long as you just keep grinding, like I seen you play for sure.
Yeah.
But I feel like as long as you just keep sticking what you're doing and you just keep that hunger, bro, I think you're going to be right up there. Yeah. I talked to Caleb Korver, Kyle Korver's little brother, was my teammate. There was one time where we had a conversation about like, man, how in the hell did Kyle end up with Allen Iverson? They was cutting and trading people. And the thing was, Kyle was the only person on the team that Allen Iverson went to bat for because Iverson had the ball about 40% of the time. Yeah. And he needed somebody to kick to, and boom, that's where you got Kyle. Yeah. And Kyle just hit the shot every time he passed it to him or was more efficient. And that's how I kind of see it ending up for you, So I know the grind of it, but it's kind of good to hear your perspective, bro. Like, man, I'm excited to see what's going to happen for you, man.
Sure.
It's like the Mike Miller thing.
I know.
LeBron, every place he's like, I want Mike Miller.
Yeah.
I want that guy.
You can shoot, man. There's a spot for you
anywhere. Yeah. And so that's how I kind of see this. And you 6'8",
6'8", 6'9".
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
6'8", 6'9". Somewhere in between. You got to wear shoes, right? With shoes, right? You got to be in there.
Business purposes, you 6'9".
There you go. Nothing wrong with that.
I'm the only person in the history of basketball to literally put my exact height.
I love when they do with shoes, without shoes. I'm like, when are you ever playing without shoes? Why do we need to do the height without shoes?
No doubt.
Last thing, again, you're still early on, but in your mind, do you have kind of like this goal plan over the next few years of where you hope to be and what to do?
Obviously, the goal is like to be on an NBA roster, NBA contract, like multiple-year deal. I mean, that's obviously everyone's goal.
Now the new contracts is like an M now, like eighth league minimum. Come on, man.
Yeah, a two-way contract is like. I want to say like 590.
Right. Yeah,
like that,
my old teammate was a coach, Grant Gibbs. He coached the Thunder. Now I forgot what team he's on now, but I always hit him up and ask him them.
Yeah.
So you right time, man. Right time.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah,
coming to Omaha. We have no idea why you're here, but we're glad you're here.
we know.
Good luck to you in the rest of the season. Thank you. All right, welcome back to Let It Fly Show. We appreciate Joey Hauser for coming on. He's cool. There's something about those families, right?
Yeah.
Older sibling. His sister's good athlete.
Right.
Kind of like pushing him around a little bit, right? His older brother kind of pushed him around a little bit. At third, he comes like a little chip on his shoulder. Yeah. He ready to take care of some business.
Yeah.
So I can see
that. You see the fire in his eyes, though.
Yeah, he wants it.
You can tell he wants it.
Yeah.
And that's what I respect about him.
Because his girl's expensive, man. He got to be paying for stuff. That's why, right there. He got to be taking care. But he does what, and we mentioned a couple names, but he does what guys who survive in this league do.
For sure.
If you can shoot it, right? Yep. If you're big enough to maybe contribute on the boards a little bit and just play a little bit of defense.
Yep.
A little bit. Mm-hmm. That's all you got to do. That's why Milwaukee this year had no chance because they couldn't play good enough defense to limit anybody else.
Right.
Giannis may have the greatest game in the world. Literally, they put up 46. and you can't stop the other team,
right.
you're going to lose.
Right.
And the Lakers the same way. The Lakers lost a bunch of games they couldn't stop
respectfully, people. Milwaukee's window to win it all again is closed to me.
It's probably closed, yeah.
But I think that, like you said, Giannis will put up 46 and don't matter.
Yeah. I don't know if they can do that. I don't think they have a lot of leeway. I think a team that, and again, I'm a Sixer fan, but I'm going to say this unbiasedly.
Yeah.
If they brought in Paul George, which is possible, because they have a lot of cap space, they have stuff they can give back. If they brought in Paul George and it was Maxey, George, and Embiid has to stay healthy, obviously, that's a team that can contend.
Win.
That's a team that can contend. They can contend.
Right back.
They can win. Next year, they could be. They'd be right there with
Boston. You think the Warriors is done? The dynasty window?
I feel like it only because the young guys they drafted, most of them didn't work out.
It started with Wiseman, letting him go.
That messed up. And, Wiseman was one of those guys that was drafted after COVID.
For sure.
Where they didn't get a chance to scout a lot of those guys. They didn't get a chance to see them. Right. And so they kind of went blind. If you go back and look at that draft, it's bad.
I know. Except for Anthony Edwards,
which is pretty good. There's a lot of bust throughout that draft. So you got to watch out for that.
I think,
I think Golden State's window is pretty much closed.
I know. I thought they was going to trade the Splash Bros and Drake.
Yeah.
Separate
Draymond. I thought they would move Draymond.
But they're not getting rid of him. So what would you do? I can't wait to see.
You got to cut Thompson. Clay's got to go. He just can't play anymore. He can't defend. He doesn't move.
Will he take less money?
I don't know, man. Not if somebody says we'll give you a 2-year, $60 million deal.
No doubt.
I mean, why would you stay around for less money? I know you have some loyalty, but you've already won championships.
Yeah.
Now you want to have generational wealth.
Yeah, I think Paul Pierce. KG as Paul Pierce. Would you take? It was a good comparison. I'm mad I can't even think of it. Mm-hmm. But it was something about would you take? He was talking about. I think he was talking about LeBron. He was talking about LeBron. Would you take $9 million and put money on another team to win a ring, or would you take the $100 million or whatever it was? I forgot. I'm going to mess it up.
You know what window wouldn't be closed for Golden State is if they brought in LeBron. That would be really interesting. It really would be if they brought him in.
Come back home.
Or if he comes back there too as well. Those are certainly possibilities. 2 old guys.
I'm a Warriors fan if you can't tell.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Coming up next week, I don't know who our guest is, but our executive producer, Phil, he's working out stuff, so we'll get that done.
For sure.
Special thanks to Joey Hauser, of course, for coming in. We appreciate him last minute, too. Executive producer, Phil McClain. Technical director, the man making it happen, making the mics work, Val Elvis, the king. Video coordinator, Mac Pittman. He'll be cutting some stuff up, too, a little bit later. And then social media maven, Meg. She brought us the food up. She provided the guests. She did a little bit of everything, so she's awesome as well. We want to thank, again, our presenting sponsor, Bud Light, for everything they do, no matter where you are in the city of Omaha, no matter what sports you're watching. Easy drinking, and if it's basketball, easy buckets or easy touchdowns or easy home runs throughout Nebraska. Easy to drink and easy to enjoy. Right. Also, reminding you, download the podcast while you're on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. It's awesome. If you see us on any of the podcast servers, same thing. Like, subscribe, helps us out. We appreciate that as well. Josh, take us away.
Hey, Josh Jones here with Michael Severe. You know how we do it. It's a Let It Fly show.